There's a ton of terrible advice out there on the internet and in our society in general. So what I want to do today is cover 6 lies that men are taught. And when you fall victim to these, they lead to devastating mistakes that can completely screw up someone's life. I know because I've made all of these at some point in my life. So I'm not judging you, I'm not blaming you, but I'm telling you this is something that can really mess you up when you fall victim to it. And the first one we're going to cover is the following, which is that life is short. You've probably heard that one before a million times, right? Oftentimes it is said in good faith. People say this so that you don't squander your time, so that you don't waste it. But in reality, what happens is the following. When people think, oh, life is short, they make decisions that are not in their best interest long term. People get impatient. People give up way too soon because they're like, oh shit, my time is running out. And so it leads to short-term thinking. People try to take the shortcut. People try to take the hack. People try to manipulate their way to the top. And then after a few years it comes crashing down and they still have 60 or 70 years ahead of them when their reputation is ruined. So don't let this lie of life is short keep you from making the right long-term decisions. Focus on sustainable success. And by the way, that does not mean that you're not going to work hard today and tomorrow and next week and next month and next year. Absolutely not. In the micro, you want to take relentless action. In the macro, realize that all good things take a lot of time to pull off. So for example, one thing with this is when I was younger, I started getting into online marketing, network marketing, and I just didn't have the patience. I'm like, okay, this has been 6 months or 9 months. It's not working so far, so I'm just gonna give up. And this lie of life is short and you need to make it happen now, that shot me in the foot. Because if I had continued on diligently for maybe 2 years instead of 6 or 9 months, it would have taken off. In hindsight, I can see that. In hindsight, I can see, you know what? Even though it's this progress, it's eventually exponential, and if I had kept going, it would have worked out. That's the power of hindsight. So don't let this lie of life is short prevent you from doing what is right. And here's one way to reframe this terrible lie. I don't know how old you are. Maybe you're 20 right now, maybe you're 25, maybe you're 30, like I am. Here's the way I reframe this. From when I was born to now 30 years old. I've got 2 entire lifetimes like that ahead of me. Maybe even more with the way technology is going. So if you're 20, you've got 80 fucking years ahead of you. And I know how long you've been alive. It might seem like a lot of time. But you've got 4 times that ahead of you. And most of that is going to be in good health, in good spirit. If you take care of your body, if you take care of your mind, which you're doing, by the way, when you're watching a video like this. By the way, if you liked it so far, give it a quick thumbs up. And let's move on to me completely cheating with 1.5. And that is the lie that, oh, everybody blossoms at their own rate. There, forgive me for my terrible handwriting, but it is what it is. Here's the thing. People say, oh, don't look at other people, just do your own thing, your time will come. Those kinds of phrases. Well, guess what? Do you know people who said, I wish I had gone for this thing, or I wish I would have done that with my life. And people are just filled with regret. It is the opposite of life is short. This is the thing of oh, life is so long, you can just take it easy whenever, your time will come. So many people just flow through life, and their last year was the same as it is this year. And next year is going to be exactly the same because they don't continue to grow. They don't continue to invest in themselves. They don't continue to set higher goals, have more ambition. And as a result, their life is just like this. Almost like a stagnant line in terms of where they're at. Whereas you want it to be an upward trajectory. And the truth is, if you don't actively work on yourself, work on your goals, work on your career, your health, your fitness, your relationships, it will either stay stagnant or it's gonna decline. So actually, this phrase, everybody blossoms at their own rate, it is absolutely true. However, people blossom when they decide they're going to blossom. And so in my life, there were times when I was just going through the motions, when I was just working every day, not doing anything on my own improvement, not training my mind, not training my body. And I stayed fucking stuck. And then when I decided I was gonna grow, when I was gonna learn, that's when I started to blossom. Not because it's like my time. No, I decided it was my time. So don't let other people say, oh, it takes time. You decide when you are ready to flip that switch, when you're ready to go all in, when you're gonna say, I am gonna make something of myself. That's it, period. You decide when that time to blossom is. Nobody else does that for you. So with my absolute cheating out of the way, let's move on to the second big lie that men are told. And that is that nice guys finish last. There, nice guys finish last. That is absolutely not true. Nice guys finish first. However, don't confuse being nice with being weak. Don't confuse kindness with letting people walk all over you. There is never a time not to be nice and kind to other people. But there's also not a time when you shouldn't stand up to yourself when other people try to push you down. That is the main thing here. So about this thing of nice guys finish last. First of all, we need to know what it means when you're being nice, when you're being kind, when you're being respecting of other people. And it's simply this, where people go absolutely wrong. When you're being kind, when you're being nice, you are doing the right thing for someone. You're being helping. You're being kind. You're being nice to people just because you want to be nice. There is no room for any ulterior motive. So for example, if you think, oh, I'm just gonna hold out the door for this girl, I'm gonna put her chair back and that kind of stuff, and then because of that, she won't like me. That is absolutely not what it means to be nice. That is called manipulation, because you're like, I will do this thing, and in return I expect this other thing. Oh, I'm gonna be kind and nice to my boss so that I will get a promotion. I'm gonna be nice to this girl so that she will like me. You see the point? When you're actually being nice, when you're actually being kind, you do those things because it's the right thing to do. And you don't expect anything from that interaction. People will say, but if I'm a nice guy, people will take advantage of me. Well, guess what? You always have a choice. If a friend tells you, hey, can you help me move on Saturday? You can say yes, you can say no. But when you say yes, you do it to help out that friend. It doesn't mean that he's now obligated to do something else for you or to give you a gift or a present. Do so many good and kind things, and eventually things will come back to you. It's not directly a one-on-one relationship. It's not that I give you something and in return you like this video. I give value and maybe someone somewhere else is gonna say, you know what, I like this shit. I'm gonna subscribe to the channel, right? But with your friend, maybe someone else notices that you are always helping out. Maybe someone else notices that in traffic, you let the biker go first, even though they didn't have the right of way, because it's raining. And someone else sees that and is like, oh my god, that's a good person. And maybe later on, you meet someone else who extends their kindness to you. So don't expect this one-on-one relationship with your time, your efforts, your kindness, and your way of doing things. Some people will never reciprocate. Other people who are respectable, they will. They will remember that you did the right thing for them. So remember that being kind is always a fucking virtue. However, don't let people walk all over you. Don't let people take advantage of you. If people constantly ask, and then when you need them, they are never there. Guess what? At that point, it's something to consider. You know what? Do I really want to continue the relationship like this? It is perfectly fine to say no, to reject, and to say, you know what? Not this time. People cannot walk over you. When you have clear boundaries, clear values, clear expectations. But it is up to you to uphold them, and you teach people how to treat you. If you constantly say yes to everything, people are gonna expect that you're constantly gonna say yes to everything. And as a result, they will ask more and more and more, because they know you're not gonna say no to them. It's not because of them. They're doing nothing wrong here. They're just asking. It's up to you to set that boundary of, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it this time. You train people how they treat you and what they can get away with. So set boundaries, but always be kind, be respectable in your manners. All right, moving on then to number 3, which is the idea of take it easy. So this one comes in various forms. People are gonna say, oh, you need some work-life balance, or you need to stop working so hard, you're gonna tire yourself out, oh, you just take it easy, find the easiest path forward, those kinds of things. Let me tell you, there's gonna be a divide here of people who might want to watch this video. Some people are highly ambitious. For you, absolutely don't take it easy. If you want an average life, if you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna give up, I'll just take whatever life throws at me, I'm not gonna work hard, then this video is probably not for you. I should have told you that at the beginning of this video, but here we are now. Here's the thing. A millionaire is never gonna call you out or call you stupid for wanting to start a business. Someone who is in great shape is never gonna tell you off for working out. Someone who is incredibly intelligent is never gonna laugh at you when you're reading a book to learn. The only times when you will get this kind of advice of, oh, take it easy, is when your ambitions are bigger than the dreams that they have given up on. Let me repeat that for you. The only times you will get this kind of criticism of, oh, just take it easy, you're working too hard, is when your ambitions, your dreams and goals are bigger than what they have already given up on. They see that, ooh, if you achieve your goals, it's a sign that they could have had that same thing. If only they had believed in themselves. If only they didn't take it easy and they went for it 1000%. So don't let people with smaller ambitions than yours stop you from doing that. That's a mistake that I made myself. There are times when people said, oh, you know, just forget about this idea of online business. Screw that, it's never gonna work. And at some point, because I didn't have any confidence, because I didn't have any trust in myself, because I didn't have any skills or discipline or motivation, I let their words dictate my actions. And I quit. It was one of the reasons why some of my earlier things did not work out. I just didn't have the trust in myself. I didn't have the confidence. And this fourth thing is, drumroll please, money doesn't, you can guess where this is going, right? Buy happiness. Now, first and foremost, one small disclaimer. Money is not everything, but it matters a lot. Do you think you're gonna be happier when you're not stuck in a job that you hate, but that you're stuck in because you can't afford to do anything else? Do you think you would be happier if you could help your parents retire so that they can live the life that they want? They can retire early and can chase their dreams. Do you think it will make you happier when you have the time freedom to say, you know what, this kind of bullshit, I'm just gonna hire a maid for this. I'm just gonna hire a cleaner. And you don't have to bother with that kind of stuff. Do you think you would be happier if you are not constantly worried about the next bill every day of the fucking month? Do you think you would be happier if you didn't have any concerns about what if something were to happen to me? I break a leg and I can't work for a month. Do you think you would be happier if all of the financial issues were taken care of? Absolutely. And the examples I gave were just simple examples of practical things. Imagine how much more you can travel. Imagine how much more time and money you can spend on a hobby when you do make a ton. Imagine what you could do with that cash. But in general, money is a multiplier. Because there are people who seemingly have it all, who end up depressed, who end up just suicidal, and in some cases they end up just ending it all. Even celebrities, they have the fame, the status, the money, they have everything, and they still end up offing themselves. And the thing here to keep in mind is the following. Money is the multiplier of happiness. So when you can be happy when you're struggling, you will be 10 times or 100 times happier when you do make the money. If you already have a lot of things, but you're never satisfied ever, you're always complaining, you're always unhappy, then money isn't gonna do that much. Because you're still gonna find ways to be unhappy. It is all in here. But realize that money doesn't buy happiness. It's a complete lie. And people say this oftentimes because they have given up on their own dreams, on one hand, and on the other hand, it is a nefarious lie in order to quell your ambition, to make sure that you don't try too hard. Because the same people who say money doesn't buy happiness are the people just rolling in the cash. And the truth is they just want you with less ambition. They want you with less power. They want you with less of everything. It's a societal plot where they don't want anyone to achieve anything. Even so, with the World Economic Forum, they say by 2030, that's their goal, that you will own nothing and you will be happy. They don't want you to succeed. In this day and age, success is the ultimate rebellion against society. So don't fall into this trap that money doesn't buy happiness. Be ambitious. Go for it. Try your hardest. Make more cash. Provide for your family. Provide for your loved ones. That's some of the things that money absolutely can buy. But only when you don't fall for these 6 lies that men are told and you become the absolute best version of yourself. And with that said, let's move on to number 5 here, and that is that masculinity is bad. These days there is so much criticism of any man who's actually a man. Right? It's June as I'm recording this, where everybody's waving their stupid little fucking flags around. Any kind of man who's actually a man instead of some half woman is being ridiculed, is being mocked online. Don't let this get to you. I'm here to tell you there's absolutely nothing wrong with being masculine. Absolutely nothing wrong with being strong, physically, mentally, intellectually. Absolutely nothing at all. It is your duty to be strong enough to protect, to be strong enough financially to support a family, to be strong enough in every single way to stand your ground, to care for those in need, to protect those you love. And you can only do that when you are being masculine. And that is only that practical part of it. And the truth of the matter is, for most of my life, I didn't feel like a man myself. The truth is that I felt inadequate. I felt like I was just some loser. I hadn't got any confidence. I didn't have any self-esteem. I didn't have any of those things because I was not strong physically. I was not strong mentally. I didn't have any practical skills. I didn't have anything of capabilities. I didn't have any discipline, any productivity, any willpower, any time management. I had none of those things. And as a result, I felt like I didn't feel like a man at all. Real talk. I didn't feel that way. And nowadays, society's gonna tell you, oh, you don't need to be masculine. Maybe you're just not a man, but you're like some demi girl, whatever shit, right? You're just some vampiric cat girl. Like, really? Are we really at that fucking stage of life? No, the truth is, when you don't feel like you're a real man, the answer is to man up. Not to say I'm a woman. Absolute fucking horseshit to do that shit. Absolute garbage. So don't let people say that it's not okay for you to be strong, to be masculine, that it's not okay for you to have greater ambition. Don't let people tell you that you shouldn't have more ambition, more drive to improve yourself, more drive to make more money, to be stronger physically, to be stronger mentally, to learn, to improve. Don't ever let people shame you into being a worse version of yourself. Ever. I can tell you, nothing good is gonna come out of it. And when you fall victim to this mindset of, oh, I'm gonna take it easy, I'm not gonna improve, I'm not gonna embrace who I am as a man, you will become anxious, you will become depressed. That's the result of it. Because inside of you, inside of your own brain, you know that you're not living up to your potential. You know it. Because otherwise you wouldn't be here watching this video. You already know what your path forward is, don't you? These lies are trying to keep you from being who you are meant to be. And so let's move on to the final point here, which is don't take any risks. So, with this one, don't take any risks. You have a choice. Average or more ambitious and more successful. If you don't take any risks, you're gonna get what everybody else gets. Because everybody else is risk averse. Nobody really dares to take any big chances. Nobody dares to go for it 100%. The few people that do, we call them the 1%. Because what I can guarantee you is that anybody you know who is successful, they have failed dozens more times than most people have even tried. They have embraced risk and they have learned the lessons from it. I would not be here if I didn't dare to take any fucking risks. I wouldn't be even close to this. In fact, probably I would be like that, if I'm being honest. And so don't let people say, don't take risks, but instead take calculated risks, because you will learn more from doing and failing than you ever will from sitting on the sidelines. If you don't get on the field and play the game, you're never gonna improve as a player. So don't let people dissuade you from taking action. Right now I want you to think about something that you have wanted to achieve, but something that you have procrastinated on. Why are you not taking the risk? Now, of course, you don't want to be an idiot. You don't want to throw your entire life savings into Dogecoin or whatever stupid bullshit. right? Take calculated risks, but take action. Be ambitious, work hard, try your best, learn from your mistakes, and if it doesn't work out, realize that you have plenty of time because life is absolutely not short. Those are some of the things to realize here. Because if you fall victim to these lies in society, that you need to take it easy, that you just need to wait it out, because your time will come someday. If you do that kind of stuff, you will get nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. That's where you get when you follow these 6 lies. So if that video was helpful to you, go ahead, give this video a quick thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.